Hello Nargis, this is my feedback to your excellent presentation. Now by the way, the similarity says 39%, but this is 0. This is not plagiarism because it's obviously part of your reference list, so you have 0 plagiarism, and that's not a surprise. Okay, let's start from the first slide. Very good choice of template, very good design here. Nice spaced out lettering, just everything is really nice here. Size, font, color, everything. I really like this as well. And actually you've understood the guidelines very well, because it really is about you and your research and an overview of the sources and how you use them, how they were important for you. And this is clear from the outline, and it's really nicely designed as well. Just very good. Here, impressive. I really like this, you know, the years, just this is great, just wonderful. The only thing I would say, maybe, just maybe, the spacing could be a little bit less here, maybe, but it's very clear the way it is. So this thing here, yeah, it might be difficult if you could just move this segment here a tiny bit up so that it coincides with this brown vertical line. That would be my only recommendation, and the same would go for here. You see how there is a bit of a mismatch. It's probably difficult to move these things around. This thing again up to coincide with that brown line here. It's better this, and here this is the best one. See? Here the brown line directly corresponds, but that's a small thing. I just really like your design. Here you could, by the way, these you could make them a little bit bigger if you can. These arrows, just, you see this arrow pointing, but the idea is just great. Wonderful slide. Maybe you can reduce the letters a little bit, because right from the very first glance it's a little bit, just maybe too many words, you know. But if you, what you can do is reduce the letter a little bit, and you can just, you don't even need all these words. You can just say internship program at Tsukuba University in Japan, right? Just say that. You don't need agrobiological resource sciences and all. It's just too many letters. Same as here, BS in biotechnology, Karaganda. New zip, Nazarbayev. Or you can just say new zip, because we know what it is. We can just say new zip Nazarbayev University, and that's all you need to say. You don't need 0-year program student and MS. It's just too much. Research assistant at, okay, I would just say biotechnology or research assistant in biotechnology at KSU. That's all. Internship program at FS Kazakhstan. You don't need to say that it's beer, a beer company. So just keep the letters to a minimum. Make these thicker, these arrows. But again, the idea is wonderful with this vertical timeline there. Nice. And I hope this comes true, by the way, for you. And many more highlights and many more milestones, all the way stuck up to the ceiling. I think you deserve that. Okay, now this slide, I like it, and it looks like you have a lot to say, which is very good, because really this presentation is about you. It's not about information. But again, I would say slightly too many words here. You don't have to say opportunity to preserve them. Just say preservation, or long time preservation, or something like that. You know, you don't need to say, for instance here, long time preservation, ultra low temperatures, that's good, under 150, that's a good number to include. Liquid nitrogen at -1, you don't even need temperature here. Why is it important? Saves valuable genes, that's it. Gives chance to manipulate a lab with plant. You see, this is too many words here. So keep this to a minimum, because this just, when you look at the slides, people should be drawn to. You could even make this bold. Why is it important? My current research. You see, this should stand out. Prospects, right? Maybe you can bold this and reduce the number of words. What should stand out is really the sections. Okay, but I like the idea that you're going to talk a lot about yourself, which is great. That's what we need to do. If you want to, I don't know how many slides you have here. Not that many, 9 slides. So you can have one more slide here, because you're allowed up to 10. You could maybe split this into 2 if you want to, so there's not so much, see, so many words. Maybe you could do the, I don't know, maybe this could be your one slide. Space it out a little bit more, make it bigger. Why is it important? Make it like really important, you know. And then here, this could be another slide, again with more space, larger lettering, you know, everything will be nice like that. So I think 2 slides would actually solve a lot of these problems, but again, reduce the number of words. Now here, very good, wonderful. And I think you did it yourself here. You say based on. I'm not sure what the language should be. Is it adapted from or based on, or is it the way it was? Did you just take it from that? I think, oh, I see. If this is in inverted commas, what that tells me is that in that source, this diagram was already, you took it from the source, you didn't make it, right? So in that case, it's just right now, for a non-specialist, this is like, okay, where do I look? It's just a little bit too intimidating. So all these arrows, all these directions, it's just a bit much. So if you can find a way to simplify this, make maybe your own and say adapted from, that would be good. In your case, this would be adapted from this source. Actually, now that I look at it, you probably did make this, but I don't think that this quotation mark should be here. This is what threw me off. The quotation mark suggests that you took a chart that was already based on another source, and it just, again, it doesn't matter if you made it or didn't make it. The point is, you can simplify this if you want to, so it's not so cluttered, and look at all this terminology: vitrification, dehydration, sucrose, glycerol. I have no idea what this is. Cryoprotectant sounds good to me. Regrowth sounds great. Regeneration and thawing, okay, fine. I would just simplify this and maybe not even. What you can do is you can make a similar, well, not really similar. You could make a graph like cry methods used for conifers, and then just say advantages and disadvantages or something like that. Very, very simple. Here, this could be one box, vertical box, comparisons, advantages, or something like that. You do not have much time to discuss all this, right? Because after you've talked here, this is already the first 3 minutes, right? So right now you're 3 minutes into the presentation, and here you have 3 more, and in the 3 more minutes you have to talk about 2 sources. What I would say, source overview, great. This is your first source, and I'm imagining this is this is a second source. I would, to make it more clear, look, this is kind of shunted to the corner because there's just so much here in this graph. So what I would do is put the source overviews 1 right here, so it's very clear. Simplify this by just talking about, I don't know, something that no specialist would understand. No vitrification, dehydration, pre-treatment. Just say advantages, disadvantages. One method is simple, the other method is more expensive, whatever you want to say. Simple for non-specialists. They do not know anything about LN under whatever number of degrees, right? And here you could say source 2, and then if you want to, you can include this. Sorbitol, maltose, I have no idea what this is, but that's okay. You will try and make it very accessible to non-specialists. And then, of course, in our outline, you could do the same. Overview of academic sources. Okay, you don't need to touch this because it's so beautiful. But here, what you can do. Overview of academic sources 1. Overview of academic sources 2. And that's it. Simplify the visual aids, simplify the content. This is mostly about how these sources helped focus your interest and why this topic became even more interesting to you. That's what you really need to talk about. There is no time for sucrose. I don't even know how to pronounce this. Glycerol, I know, I think. Vitrification, I can sort of guess what that might mean. But dehydration, I know. Glucose, DMSO, no idea. And again, you have 3 minutes. Focus on why one is better than the other or something like that. Why the vitrification method is better for Kazakhstan or something like that. See, something that no specialist would understand. Okay? And then the conclusion is obviously clear. New line of pine in Kazakhstan. See, people want to know that. So you can focus a little bit on that. Maybe even here. If you think that one of the 2 methods is better for Kazakhstan, why? But without getting into too much technical jargon. Okay, and then the reference. It looks good. So overall, this is a very nice slide design. You really put a lot of thought into it. That's great. Again, just simplify it, and you have 3 minutes. I know what you're gonna do. You're gonna talk very fast. You're gonna say a lot of things about those pine trees. Just try and simplify it. Record yourself, play it back to yourself, and if it's too fast, reduce the content. Okay? But I know you'll do a very good job. And I'm sure your presentation will be full of positive energy and people will start really caring about these pine trees. Okay, good luck, Nargis. Best of luck in your presentation. I know you'll do a good job.